Welcome to the first episode in this series. Here we're going to be turning my VW Corrado into an eco-friendly, high miles per gallon motorway cruiser. And we're going to start off with this, which isn't a VW Corrado. Why have I got a Mark IV Golf? Simply, it's got the best VW diesel engine I consider they've ever made. So 130 PD. I'm sure some of you are going to be saying, oh well, the 150 is better. It's the same block. As you can see, it's got a lovely anti-corrosion properties here. This is what happens when people stick a bomb a car and then eventually it washes off. Got various little symbols here. Seeing a Nike sign, it's a Heineken sticker, a Ferrari badge. It's just like a Ferrari. Nice tinted windows, which are always nice. And rather large wide wheels at the back. We'll measure these later on. They have got some stretched winter tyres on them, which is always good. And a slight change to the bumper at the back. It's got some rather unique anti-corrosion properties on this side because the wings are renowned for rusting away. There's a couple of layers of extra primer, and then was involved in a drive-by, as we can see here. Bumper is fairly secure. Fairly. Might have to see nice wind deflectors. Look at the stance on that back wheel. It's lovely. This is one of the best diesel engines the VW have ever made, in my opinion. And this is why I'm using this as the base of the conversion. 130, 6-speed box, tunable. But does it fit in a Corrado? The internet says it does. I have driven this car before. When I first picked it up, the brakes were absolutely shocking. It had been stood up for 12 months before, and I did have to look at the brakes on a ramp at the beginning. Let's close those windows up. The electric windows still work. I ended up bleeding the brakes and made a massive difference. So whether some work's being done, hoses being replaced, it's not being bled up properly. But it does stop now. Still quite a bit of rust on the brakes, but nothing that can't be fixed if I was to keep the car in its current state. As it drives, it's alright. Clutch is a bit worn. It actually handles quite well. Let's spin it around this roundabout. It's got a nice selection of air fresheners. It really does go for the rat look. She's a real head turner. This is my '89 Corrado. I've had it for about 2.5 years, 3 years. Bought it off a good friend of mine called Dan. Bought it as an unfinished project. It already had a 1.9 TDI lump in it. Unfortunately, it was the 90 brake of a Passat 1Z engine with an engine ECU. I did buy it as a non-runner. It took a couple of months to get it running, and I now use it as a daily commute to work, which is 40 to 50 mile round trip. 90 brake lump, sits quite nicely in there. Passat and the Corrado, same chassis, same setup, everything was bolted straight in, runs. I've been Crispy. Thanks very much for watching this first short video. I thought it was a bit naff, to be honest. Well, hey ho, it can only get better. At the end of the project, I'm looking for a high miles per gallon highway cruiser that's still fun to drive around town. Has a nice sensible engine swap. Don't need to go for big horsepower, but I will get quite good torque. That's enough talk from me.